you do mention it's interesting that the mix of news that we are getting, a lot of misinformation, disinformation, Karthik, because an F-16 or a JF-17, there was so much news items around 2 JF-17s also being shot down, but that appeared later to be a deep fake of the Pakistani army chief. So much misinformation, but we do know for a fact right now that at least one jet has been brought down.
Again, so there is no official confirmation from the government of India yet that we have indeed shot down a Pakistani fighter aircraft on Indian territory. Again, this is reporting. Wires are reporting it. ANI has reported it. And there are multiple other publications which are putting out these copies. But we don't still have an official word from the government of India that we have taken down a fighter jet of the Pakistani Air Force anywhere on the Indian airspace. Now, coming back to, of course, this entire information, disinformation, misinformation war. In fact, there was a deep fake video also circulating in the wee hours of the morning late last night of General Munir. It was a deep fake video and General Munir is seen in that deep fake video, the digitally altered video, saying that 2 Pakistani JF-17 aircraft have been down. But again, we realized much ahead of most other channels who were flashing that news that video was indeed a doctored video. It was a deep fake video, and we don't have any confirmation up until now on whether we have indeed been able to shoot down even one, leave alone 3 Pakistani aircraft.
All right, no confirmation there as far as the Pakistani aircraft that was shot down. Sources suggesting at least one F-16. Again, not confirmed yet, but at least one F-16 may have been shot down and the pilot may have been captured. All of this coming by the way of a variety of sources that we've been speaking to. Where does it leave us, Karthik? I think that's the big question on everybody's mind today as we wake up to the air raid sirens going off in Jammu, going off in various western parts of India, including Chandigarh as of late last night. Where does it leave us this morning? We are expecting, of course, the MOD, Ministry of Defence, to come out and clarify to us what's happened late last night in a presser, which could be scheduled at about 9 or 10 a.m. this morning. But where does it leave us as of this morning?
Right, Shweta. So I think as of late last night, the situation was pretty clear that a swarm drone attack has been launched on India in retaliation to India taking down the Lahore air defense system and the HQ-9 launches as a retaliation to Pakistan's unprovoked strikes on 15 Indian cities. So as of last night, the drone attack by Pakistan was one escalation, India thwarting that and making sure that not a single drone gets to hit any building, any person, any structure on Indian territory was India's response. Now, I think where that leaves us is what next would Pakistan have done during the night. And what Pakistan has done is that it has further escalated matters. There has been artillery shelling in the Poonch sector. Jammu has heard loud explosions. Maybe we can bring that audio up for our viewers. But there has been loud artillery shelling sounds heard in Jammu, and we know that there is obviously some sort of an artillery shelling going on in the Poonch sector also, which India, I'm sure, is responding to. But the point really is that even after India thwarting the swarm drone attack by Pakistan, there was shelling initiated by Pakistan, as a result of which Jammu had to go under complete blackout. So the fact is that Pakistan continues to escalate. India is left with very little choice but to retaliate. Now the question really is, at what point are we going to officially call this a war? Because at this moment, we are not calling it war. It hasn't yet been called one. We are calling it a conflict between 2 nuclear-armed nations.
And that's important,
and very
because
interestingly,
we haven't officially declared it a war, Karthik. And until the government of India does it, we can't really call it a war. It's escalation on escalation.
Absolutely. So Pakistan has been terming it India's act of war ever since we started our Indus water diplomacy strike against Pakistan. So the Indus Treaty that India had decided to put in abeyance was pretty much, as per Pakistan, India's aggression of war and an act of war. But that really wasn't the case. I think visuals on the screen right now, audio, if we can bring up that audio, is the artillery shelling sounds that we have heard in the Poonch sector in and around Jammu this morning. Maybe we can bring up those artillery sounds. And until we do that, Shweta, yes. So it is pretty much not exactly war just as yet.
Right.
I think
Karthik, stay
we are
with
still.
us. We do have some breaking news coming in.
Okay.
All citizens have now been requested by Amritsar DPRO to stay indoors, away from their windows, keep lights turned off and window curtains drawn. There is no need to panic. That is as per the Amritsar DPRO. A siren will blow now. We'll pass the message again once it's clear. Our armed forces are on the job. We need to support them by staying indoors. There's no need to panic. Amritsar DPRO, they're requesting all its citizens to stay indoor, sounding alarm bells, also suggesting people need not panic. But India is on a war footing. My colleague Brijesh Pandey also joining us from the newsroom right now. Brijesh, multiple cities across the western zone telling their citizens to stay alert, to stay indoors. India prepared to thwart any possible escalation that Pakistan may initiate in hours to come.
Well, absolutely, and I think, if you go by, how the entire thing has panned out in the last 48 hours, Pakistan has made 2 attempts to breach the Air Force, breach the air's, protective cover which is there, and both have been very effectively foiled by Indian forces. One thing is very clear that, there was an attack alert siren which was heard again in Amritsar, and based on that attack alert siren, citizens, DPRO had issued a request and requesting all the citizens to stay indoors and away from the windows and keep light turned off and window curtains down. See, it's going to be a long drawn affair because one thing was very clear that once India first carried out a completely non-citizen but an attack which was there on the terror infrastructure and terror facilities inside Pakistan. Many felt that this was one action after which the Pakistan will get the right message and will not initiate any further adventurism which may lead to a state of war. But this hope, because all the top powers, irrespective of what they're saying in public, they are behind the scenes, they are all working out to make sure that the situation doesn't escalate and get out of hand. And that is the reason why there's been a constant updation from the Indian side to all the major superpowers, be it United States of America, Russia, or other states, to make sure that that they are in sync with what is happening. And I think all the superpowers are working behind the scenes to make sure that Pakistan backs down, because they all know that if the situation continues for a while, then it may escalate into a full-blown war, a possibility of which no country would want to at this point of time. And that is the reason why these measures are being taken to make sure that the citizens and all are safe. But if you look at the Punch and all, where there's a heavy firing which has been going on in the last 48 hours, and we have seen how more than 15 people being killed in this retaliatory firing which is being done by Pakistan. Somebody has to ensure that that there's a dial down as far as Pakistan is concerned. Right. Otherwise, the situation cannot continue like this for a very long time.